Are you stuck on the character creation page, unsure of what to choose for your background? Does every starting perk seem tempting to you? Not to worry, in this video, we will be going through all of them. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'll be making plenty of Core Keeper content in the upcoming days, so do subscribe to stay updated. Today, we'll be talking about character creation. Upon starting a new game, you will eventually reach this character creation page. For the cosmetics, it is purely up to you how you would like to dress up or design your character. After we're done customizing how our character will look, we will then have to choose a background. Now this is the interesting part. I will be going through each and every one of them, explaining why they are good or bad, before giving you my personal choices for solo and multiplayer. First off, we have the Explorer. An experienced traveler who always brings a few extra torches. For starting perks, you will get 3 running skill. Before we continue, I would like to give a brief explanation of how these skills work. There are a total of 9 different skills, and running is just one of them. They start at level 0, and as you play through the game, they will be leveled up to a maximum of 100. So, getting back to the Explorer starting perks, your running skill will start at level 3 if you choose to be an explorer. While it does let you run a little faster in the beginning, it isn't a very useful perk because you can easily level up your running skill. All you have to do is run, which you will be doing 90% of the time anyway. Therefore, the +3 is quite irrelevant. The small lantern isn't very useful either, because even when you use it, you can't see much of your surroundings. The light radius is terribly small, so it doesn't really help at all. The 3 food rations are good, but not necessary. Next, we have the Miner. A veteran miner knowledgeable about breaking down walls effectively. For starting perks, you will get +3 mining skill, together with the copper pickaxe. These 2 perks will give you a good head start, and it is a very beginner friendly background. Unfortunately, the +3 mining skill is rather insignificant after the initial stages because you will start mining almost immediately upon entering the game, and you will then be leveling up your mining skill very quickly. The copper pickaxe is also easily obtainable. Once again, the 3 food rations are good but not necessary. Then we have the Fighter, a fighter with great self-defense and the power to defend their allies. For starting perks, you will get +3 melee skill. This is a little awkward, because while it is nice to have a boost to your melee damage, it doesn't do much early in the game. At the same time, you will have more than enough opportunities to engage in combat, so it won't be the hardest skill to level up at the end game. The second perk is a copper sword, which you can easily obtain as well. Lastly, the 3 food rations is nothing special. I think if the 3 food rations was replaced with either a shield or a ranged weapon, the fighter would be a great choice. Now, we will be moving towards more supportive backgrounds. Starting off with the chef, a culinary expert preparing food for anyone in need. For starting perks, you will get +3 cooking skill. While it is very easy to level up your cooking, it takes a very long time to do so because you won't be cooking all the time. So having a few extra levels in cooking is definitely useful. On top of that, you start with a cooking pot. This allows you to start cooking very early on, which means you won't have to eat raw food at all, and that's a huge plus. Cooked dishes restores more hunger than just eating the raw ingredients, and it also gives you extra power-ups. While the cooking pot is also easily obtainable, you might need to cook up food to eat before coming back from your first mining trip, and this is why having the cooking pot at the start is a useful perk. The 8 mushrooms are ingredients for you to use for cooking. You can also just eat them raw, but I would recommend cooking them since you already have the cooking pot. Next, we have the Gardener, a seasoned farmer with green fingers eager to turn some soil. For starting perks, you will get +3 gardening skill. This skill is similar to cooking. in the sense that it will take quite a while to reach max level because you won't be tending to your crops all the time. But compared to cooking, it is harder to level up gardening in my opinion. Because of this, I would rather have the extra levels in gardening than in cooking. Unfortunately, the other two starting perks for the gardener, which are the copper hoe and the watering can be easily obtained. Lastly, we have the fisherman. A patient fisherman with a fishing rod at hand and an eye on the lure. For starting perks, you will get +3 fishing skill. This is very valuable because of how hard it is to start off in fishing, as well as how difficult it is to level up. Honestly, by the time I max out all my other skills, I probably won't even be halfway there for fishing. Your other starting perk, the wooden fishing rod, is also very valuable because it isn't easily obtainable or replaceable early in the game. The only other way to obtain a wood fishing rod is by getting lucky while breaking crates. And the first craftable fishing rod is the tin fishing rod. There isn't any copper fishing rod as of now, which is why if you don't choose fisherman as your background, you probably won't be able to fish for a while until you can find tin. That being said, I don't think anyone will really want to enter the game and immediately start fishing. It also doesn't help that the fishing minigame isn't all that intuitive. While I really like the starting perks, fishing as a whole just doesn't seem worth the time early on. And to finish it off, you get 3 food rations. I know I said lastly for fishermen just now, but yet there is another background, and that is the nomad. There is no reason why you would pick this unless you just want to challenge yourself. Although I hope they will implement some achievements in the future that requires you to pick nomad as your starting background. If not, I see no reason why anybody will ever pick this. Now, if you're playing alone and this is your first time playing the game, I would recommend either choosing miner for the slight head start or choosing chef for early game cooking. That's only for single player though. For multiplayer, I would recommend having 1 chef, 1 gardener, and at least 1 fisherman. This is because food becomes more of a necessity in multiplayer. If there are more than 3 players, the rest can choose between either miner or fighter. And that wraps up this video. If you still have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section below. I hope this was helpful in kickstarting your journey in Core Keeper. See you in the next video and have a good one.